Yo, guys, what's going on? Lucky Cheese 7 is back again to give you guys Dead Rock Chapter 4 live stream discussion. And actually, hold up, I just realized something. um, it's the title of the stream. The title of the stream should have been something. Actually, hold up, I just realized something. Um, it's not necessarily just the title of the stream, but well, actually, yeah, it was just the title of the stream. But easy fix. Not necessarily something too major, I should add. It should be really simple. Changes. Yep, there we go. Just like that. So, besides the point and the little interruption aside, this chapter of Dead Rock, fascinating. Super fascinating, to say the least. And monthly. Monthly serialization, and Hiro is showcasing a lot. We're 4 chapters in. Keep this in mind. We're only 4 chapters into Dead Rock, and I'm gonna go into this chapter right now because you know, rather we spend less time on just regurgitating, not just regurgitating, but you know what I mean. Like, just dive straight in. So, Dead Rock Chapter 4, titled Death Arena. Now, the reason why I changed the title of the stream just a moment ago is because I had a. The title of the stream was the same chapter from last week. But I was like, wait, let me fix that. So, avoid confusion. You know, makes it easier in that sense. That being said, let me see if I got this one real quick. Um, ah, it'll be fine. Anyway, so the chapter is called Death Arena, and we see this nice cover page of Frey. We see Hein, and we see Honey and Choco. And essentially, where we are is we have a few figures like watching Yakuto, watching Hein racing, Mikoto, Honey, Choco, and Frey. And they're like, "Hey, did you hear what Class F did?" It's like, "Yeah, they totally wiped out Class D." Crap. Kuga-san's definitely gonna hear about this. That's not even funny. If Kuga-san comes out, the new kids are all dead meat, huh? And case in point, right over here, we have to discuss this. Hein looks over. He like turns and says, "Huh?" Or not, huh? But he looks at me like Kuga. To which you have Yakoto just like in thought. He's like, God found out that Maxwell was a fake, and he might know it was me. No, what am I getting scared for? I came here to kill God. I need to be prepared. And then, of course, we see the Neko girl. The Blake of the series, as I want to say, because she very much kind of does remind me of Blake. With the cat ears and everything, the honest look. And just who was that girl? It sounded like she knew about my curse, and she disappeared right afterwards. To which you have Choco, like, head resting on Yakuto. Wow. I don't know. That to me was kind of amusing. I was like, really? Huh. Choco. And then you have Honey. Is that a bird's nest? Hey, you jerk! Just because I'm a bird, that doesn't mean I have to make everything a nest. You scared? And then you have Raisin. Today's class is practical training. Duel into the death at Death Arena. And then you have Frey. So I should mention the everything I was reading before was like, like just fan translations. This is like the official one. So officially now we can say that her name actually goes by Frey, which is fine. So we have Frey, and she's like, "This rocks. I've been waiting for something like this." And Mikoto says, "A tremendous number of souls of the dead must be slumbering there. Will I be able to eat them all?" Like, okay, here's the thing. I'm not gonna start any wars between best girls. Like, they're both great. I There's something about Mikoto and like her charisma that I think is appealing. It's a little twisted, it's a little dark, but I don't know. There's a sense of charm that Mikoto has, and I don't know, I like it. Anyway, you have Mikoto saying Death Arena, Lozen Sensei. One of the four demon one of the four demon teachers. Lozen, and holy dude, look at this like the Death Arena itself, like just from the outside, it's like, whoa, like that looks actually really cool. It's got like this old school medieval Colosseum vibe to it, fantasy esque. But again, that's been one of like Hero's strong suits. Like you go back Fairy Tale, you go back to Raid, like this kind of setting, woo, is great. Like you even see instances like this in Eden Zero Turns. I'm not gonna say you don't have memorable moments like this in Eden Zero because you do, but it's cool in that sense. But see Mikoto puts her feet down, and Frey's like, "What's wrong, Mikoto?" It's a bit more than I expected. The many voices of the souls slumbering here. No, there are many screams. And then you have Choco over here. Choco like gets the sweats and like just bails off with Honey going like, "Why are you go trying to leave? I can only fight as good as a bird." But because that's what you are. Are you all right? To be real, look, Honey's hilarious, but the "Are you stupid" part is, eh, it is somewhat losing its edge. I will say that. But anyway, you see this, you see a card pulling up. Cha la la, tra la 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 la, tra la la. Wait, let me read that right. Tra la dee dee da la lee dee 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 da. You know what? All I know is Lozen was singing because you have this. He's like, and now, like man's just trying to show off like mad hardcore. It's not even funny. Hi, Class F. I'm Lozen. Let's have some hot duels today. And obviously, Frey is just going along with it. She's like, yes. To which Raisin says, what are we doing in this practical training? And Honey's like, beats me. By the way, kids, I hear you killed all of Class D. Sweet, that's great. So, to start off, I want to see what you do. And Mikoto's like, what an invigorating teacher. And Heinz like, the way he moves is annoying though. And you just see like the dead look expression on Yakuto's face. Like he's there and he just thinks to himself, like, if we all fought him at once, could we kill him? He's smiling, he's just like, great. He might not seem it, but he's quite impressive. If I misjudge things here, he'll kill us. First, I'll have to break you into pairs for practice fights. One on one hot duels. Woo-wee! And to no surprise, Frey's like, I'll battle Yakuto. Like, it doesn't even take a second. She's like instant. She's like, yes, he's the one I'm gonna fight. And like, you see how it kind of throws him off, like, huh? What? And Mikoto's like, yeah, I'm sorry, I'm not feeling well. Can I sit this one out and rest? And she's like, yes, certainly. Rest is essential for warriors. And Choco's like so loud. So Mikoto and Choco are like, yeah, like I'm gonna be honest here. I'd rather just sit this one out. So you got Raisin, you got Hein. Raisin says, then I'm stuck with the ice doggy. And dude, Hein is like a hardcore, like cold here. He's like silent zombie. And then you have Choco. If Hein's my opponent, I've got a dog one chance of winning, huh? Are you underestimating me? Are you Dude, that part didn't make sense. It's like, are you underestimating me? Are you stupid? Like, if I were to reword that, I would say, you're underestimating me. Are you stupid? That's how I would have approached that. But it's Honey. Honey's being Honey at this point. And Lozen's like, no, begin. Let's battle. I've been wanting to go up against you. And Dakota's like, Frey-san, this is just a practice match. Come at me for real. But we're friends, so hitting each other's a bit. Then, and again, without a sheer thought, she like decks Yakuto like in the face, like literally like grabs her foot and like just attacks him. I'll kick you. It's like what? And like you see how he's kind of thrown off by this too, like the hot-blooded spirit, and she says dragon flame off the gate. You see the clash between fists, and she's like, "Great, hot, oh." And this is actually interesting because I know this sparked a discussion in the community, without a doubt. Like this part definitely struck a chord because what ends up happening in this little exchange here is Frey says, way back when, I read a story about a battle between a fire wizard and a black dragon. And Yakoto's like thinking, like, huh, that sounds like us. Who won? The fire wizard. So what the discussion that took place within the fandom, just based on this line of dialogue, is that perhaps like this is like the fairy tale verse, like way far off into the future. Like that's the implications that has generated when it comes to the topic of discussion. It's based on this, just the whole way back when I read a story about a battle between a fire wizard and a black dragon. Keeping in mind also that when we got to the end of Fairy Tale, the book Lucy wrote, The Adventures of Iris, that was all based on her experiences. So it's not a huge. I wouldn't say it's that much of a stretch to say that that book also exists in Dead Rock. So her book is there. Like to me, you know what this reminds me of? This reminds me of Eden Zero, Chapter 3, I believe. Like, remember that conversation that Rebecca and Shiki had about like what they viewed as the guild, like how Shiki thought the guild was gonna be like a little bit more upbeat, a little more happy, where they could all be friends. And you have that like narration from Rebecca where she's like, "Yeah, there was a manga about that." That's what I feel like this is. Like to me, I don't necessarily think that this is a full on confirmation that Yes, it is definitely fairy tale like far off into the future. I don't think it's that necessarily. I just think it's like a loose connection, like a nod to fairy tale, if you will. I mean, like you got a fire wizard and you got a black dragon, Frey and Yakuto. That's all it is. Now, again, if it's proven wrong and this is indeed connected to fairy tale, I mean that's cool. But I guess what also does add up more to that theory, and we'll get to this soon, because the theory on that does increase tenfold also by one specific thing. Right before I get to that, it has to be discussed. The Fire Wizard. And then you have Racing and Hein fighting, and he's like, "You're better with a sword than I expected, dog." And Hein's like, "And who are you to judge that, zombie?" Then he's like, "My root is Orochi. I'll show you the eight." Man said eight sword method. Eight. One, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight. Not three. Eight. Man said, "I'm gonna show you the eight way." Not the. So she said, but you know what I mean. Uh, Orochi said to have eight heads and eight tails. Yeah. So, and Hein's like, "I feel bad for you if you got sliced into pieces again. Then I'll freeze your heart instead." And this exchange, I don't know what's going on here because you have Choco and Honey, and Choco's like, "Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. Come at me, clay doll." And he's like, huh? Single bolt of lightning would probably cook you. You sure?" And Choco's like, "Don't underestimate me. I'll show you the power of the Yatagarasu." Yeah, there we go. I almost butchered that. Yatagarasu. And you see that, and as soon as this happened, I was like, "Wait, what the hell is Choco doing?" Because she generated a third foot. She's like, "Third foot activate." And you grew a foot there? What the heck? Are you stupid? Hey, why are you laughing? I'm gonna cry. And again, it's interesting that Mikoto's like just sitting this one out. I actually see the funny thing is I thought Choco was gonna sit this one out too, but no, it's just Mikoto. So it's it's fascinating. Definitely fascinating. I will say that for sure. It's a real interesting approach. And Lawson's like, "I see, I see." You saw the fight taking place between Frey and Yagato. "Wow, you're stronger than I imagined, Frey-san. We're not going all out yet, but you are too, Yagato." And he asks her something. She's like, "So why did you come to Dead Rock?" And she's like, "Well, I want to fight, but I also want to surpass my big sis. She didn't graduate." And Yagato's like, "Your big sis?" "Yeah, she was way stronger than me, but she didn't make it to the graduation. She died during a class. If I can graduate," and because she remembers what her sister says, she's like, "Yeah, if I can graduate, I'll have made it further than her, right?" And you have young Frey asking her like, "You're going to Dead Rock, big sis?" "Yeah, I'm going to become a demon queen and make a flame kingdom." And she's like, "A flame kingdom? And I'll make you a flame princess, Frey?" "No, I want to be a knight." "Oh, you're so cute, Frey. I love you too, big sis." And thinking about that, like you see like this expression on her face, and this is like probably like one of the rarest so far within the four chapters we have. Like this is the first one we've seen her like kind of just be like in awe about her memory, like just thinking back. I guess the first time we're witnessing this from her, so I think it's a nice touch. And then Lozen's like, "Okay, stop right there. Wow, you all blew my socks off. I'm enchanted." And Yakuto's looking, Frey's looking, Raisin's looking, Hein's looking, Choco's looking, Honey's looking. So I want you all. It's like, huh? What is this guy talking about? Are you stupid? And I think it's interesting how like the events of what we just learned about from Frey kind of come into play here because Lozen snaps his fingers. One of the cell doors opens up, and Frey's like, "What are those?" And Yakuto's like, "People." And Honey's like, "School uniforms? Don't tell me they're students." And Lozen's like, "They sure are. These are my battle pets. Your senpai." And holy shit. I'm not gonna lie, this shit was kind of terrifying. Like I saw some of these designs, I was like, "What the hell?" Like even Choco's like this, like, "Wait, what, honey? What's this mean?" And Raisin's like, "This is way too creepy." And Lozen's like, "Don't worry, I have the principal's permission. He said I can cherry pick about 10 students a year to make into my battle pets." And you see Mikoto, she's like, "What are battle pets?" Just like they sound, just what they sound like. They're pets to keep me satisfied. I can hit them, I can kill them, and oh my god, like you want to talk about some disturbing shit? Like this definitely is disturbing. Where he says, "I can even enjoy the cuties in other ways too." So it pretty much the implication that he's saying right over here is, you know, he he did the deed. You know, uh, the truest definition of necrophilia. Like that is what Lawson is in. Ugh. I mean, again, it's he says he can do whatever he wants with them. So the fact that like that's strong implications right there. Like, yeah, like I did some fucked up shit to them. And I don't regret it one. That's essentially what he's saying. And you see how pissed off Yagato is. And he's like, anyone my battle pet's bike turn into battle pets. Easy to understand, huh? And then I love Hein. Hein's like he just looks over and he's like, they're like zombies. And Raisin's like, don't look at me. And Frey says, and why do we have to turn into those? I told you, I'm enchanted by y'all. That's how it is. I feel for you. Battle pets have it good. You'll get my attention every day. And the truest definition right over here. Hein's like, this guy, Racing, he's a total creep. Choco. Hey, aren't you a teacher? And then you have Honey. Tasking, no, taking students for yourself? And a friend looks over at Mikoto. She's like, hey, Mikoto, you can control them. He's like, can you control them? And she's like, they're not dead bodies. Though I can't say they're alive either. Okay, everyone give them a chum so they can join you. So they're not dead, they're not alive either. Hmm. That's an interesting way to put it. I will say that it's an interesting way to like explain things without a doubt. Hmm. Why is that though? Like I have to ask. Like it's a fascinating topic to discuss. Like, huh? Okay. So it pretty much kind of showcases that even Mikoto kind of has her limitations too. And like you see one of them like going after Honey, And Choco's like, they're surprisingly strong. And there's so many. This is bad. Don't get bitten. And holy shit. Like, Yagato snaps. He says, this is why the four demon teachers, with their divine powers, can't be left alive. I'm going to kill you. He thinks this in his head. And he just tells them, like, hey, like, please stand back, everyone. And I'm not gonna lie, when you see Yakuta going through this transformation, you know what crossed my mind? For anyone who has seen a Kame ga kill, like y'all know which scene I'm referring to. Like this scene right over here, straight up kind of reminded me of a Kame ga kill. I was like, oh, like when you see with what happens to Yakuto, I was like, oh my god. He says, this is what it means to be prepared to challenge God himself. And Lozen's like, what? Well, what the heck? This can't be real. And Choco's like, a black dragon. And you see the wings, you see the claws. Essentially, okay, let's not beat around the bush. You can say he pretty much turned into Acnologia. But I mean, and I know some people are going to say, "Oh my god, a reused design. Hero's not coming up with anything original." I'll be for real though. This still looks pretty damn epic. I'm not gonna lie. This, like turning into the Black Dragon, whoo, is awesome to say the very least. And in a sense, again, I've still seen the discussion going around that maybe this is definitely like fairy tale, like years and years, like far into the future. And again, I'm not saying that's what this is. It definitely has a loose connection to it for sure. But I just think this is like Hero just showcasing another like big reference. Yeah, look, it's you've got the design of Agnologia. And I mean, look, Agnologia does have a pretty iconic design, you know? Like it's the famous saying of, if it ain't broke, don't fix it, right? But I think this is also kind of interesting because as far as Acnology goes, like he was a formidable threat, definitely, Fairy Tale. But when we look at Yakuto, I can definitely see like a point now where like maybe after Dead Rock is finished, whenever we do get like, because I'm of the belief that we'll probably get some kind of adaptation of Dead Rock, whether it's a movie, whether it's an OVA, whether it's like an anime series. Like I definitely do feel like we're gonna get something animated related for Dead Rock, but I do see like in the future, a lot of people associating the Black Dragon design to Yakuto. I could definitely see that, just because of like how the transformation like turned out. Like it, like this is like whoa. But again, that's besides the point. Again, I just want to say this: Yakuto looks freaking badass. Without a doubt. But you see this, you see the shockwave like it's immuting, and Raisin's like, Yakuto turned into the Black Dragon, and Mikoto's like, this is the dragon root. And Hein's like, he has the power to transform into a dragon. And like, dude, Yakuto, like, he is like going into not giving two shits. Like, he is like wrecking a havoc. And it is incredible. And Lozen's like, I like what I'm seeing. Chogo's like, whoa, honey, awesome. They're coming over here too. And speaking about correlations and what we've gotten. Remember, earlier in the chapter we get this flashback between Frey and her sister. And you notice she says, huh. And one of the zombies we see is her older sister, and she's like the big sis. And that's where the chapter ends. Like chapter 4 ends up like on this like end on this cliffhanger where you're sitting here thinking like, okay, hero, what else you got? What else you got? Like that is essentially with where we're. Give me just one quick second. Just one quick second. Anyway, phone call. Very brief, very short, but yeah, no. We're left in a very interesting position, not only because like this is the cliffhanger for the chapter, but knowing Hero for as long as I've read his series, each of his volumes have always been 4 chapters. Like look back at it. Rave Master had 4 chapters. Fairy Tale, 4 chapters. Eden Zero, 4 chapters. So this is where we close off um Dead Rock. And it's an interesting way to close it off. And the reason why I say this is the last chapter of the volume is because it was already reported that Dead Rock Volume 1 is going to come out in November. I think November 16th. Right? Let me double check. Because I'm pretty sure it was November. They have it listed for November. That's why I'm saying that. Dead Rock manga. Let's see. Yeah, November 16th, I think, is like the release date that we're getting for Volume 1, which I'm actually really curious as what we're gonna get for the cover. The cover for the first volume is gonna be really interesting, to say the least. Again, interesting developments. What we got, we see Yakuto going like in full transformation. Yes, he essentially turned into Agnologia, but the way it was presented and how he transformed, I thought was epic. It was like really damn epic to see how he transformed, but also getting a little bit of backstory on Freya. Like, yeah, it's cool to see like like the hot headed nature and like the fiery spirit that she had. But part of me was also kind of like, I wonder what her backstory is. Like, we kind of got it for Racing, we got it for Yakuto. Hein, we still don't really know so much about, so I'm kind of curious about what his is. Mikoto's another one too. Like, we know she's a necromancer, but I'm kind of curious about like her upbringings, which I do feel like we're gonna get that probably in, like the next few chapters alongside with Hein. But needless to say, I love it. I love this chapter of Dead Rock, and I'm going to give this chapter pure perfection. It was a pure perfection chapter because it had everything in it. It had the intensity, it had the suspense going, had like the moments where like it kind of tugs at your heartstrings, the moments of badassery, and then that moment of like, oh shit, like what the hell is gonna happen next? You know? And that is like the perfect package, in my opinion, for a chapter. So this chapter, again, like I said, gets a pure perfection, and I cannot wait to see with what we get for chapter 5, the start of volume 2. Um, I'm trying to think how long is Dead Rock supposed to be going on for? Because the rumor I hear is that it's supposed to be going on for like 13 chapters, 14, 15, like somewhere between like 12 and 16 chapters. Like that's what I've been hearing. Now, I don't know how true that is, but I mean, if it is going to be like 12 to 16 chapters, I don't think that's too much of a stretch considering that when you look at Fairy Tail Zero, the last monthly manga that Hero did, that went on for like 13 months. So if it is going to be essentially, like 13, 14, 16 chapters, I mean, given with where we're at right now, I think another 12. Yeah, so probably this time next year, if we're going with that approach, that it's going to be, like just 16 chapters. That puts us at, let's see, four, like what, four volumes? 4 volumes long? I wouldn't mind. Because, I mean, Hero did say that this was meant to be like a short serialization, like a very limited run. And I mean, look, so far he's been killing it. The Hero has been killing it so far with Dead Rock, and I cannot wait to see with what we get with Yakuto. Like again, his whole ordeal and him just like going, you know, essentially all not guns blazing, but like dragonic mode. Yeah, well, let's go with that. Him just going full out dragonic mode was totally and most definitely peak. But again, I'm kind of regurgitating at this point on my thoughts for the chapter. So let me know what you guys thought about it. What was your thoughts on Dead Rock Chapter 4? What was your favorite thoughts about it? How do you guys feel about this being the closing of Volume 1? And where do you guys going to go with Chapter 5? And aside from that, guys, that's pretty much it. I'm Lucky7. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel for more Dead Rock and Hiro Mashima content. And I will catch you guys next time. Peace.